Liz here. It's Sunday the 19th of July, and I just wanted to share another craft with you. And what we're going to do is one similar to this one here that has remote control lights. So I'm just going to set this over here and we'll get started. And I'll just tell you what I'm using as we go along. And if you like this video, please do this. And we call it, what do we call it? I forgot what we call it. Sprinkling the love. My mind, oh my goodness. So anyway, we're going to get started. The first thing we have is this board. It's just a thin piece of, I guess, plywood. It was in a cigar box. I think it's the bottom of a box. And I made it into a square. It was a little over 7.5 inches, and I cut this top piece off and sanded it down. So we're going to Mod Podge this fabric here onto it, and this is a piece of fabric that I got from the upholstery store from their discontinued sample books. Now this is the right side of the fabric, but I like this side of it better, so I'm gonna go with this side. So I'm just gonna take my Mod Podge and spread it with my favorite brush onto this piece of wood. And I'm putting it on pretty thickly. I had to start wearing my apron because I was getting glue and paint all over my clothes. Well, let me see if this is up high enough. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I have Mod Podge all over my board, and I'm just going to lay my material on top of it and try to get it in the center of the material, get the board in the center of the material. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to Mod Podge these ends down. And again, I'm putting a pretty nice layer of Mod Podge on here. And then I'm just smoothing it down onto the board. I'm going to do one end, flip it over, do the other end, and then we'll do the side edges. And then we're just going to fold these over, these edges over like this. So this is what we have so far. I'm going to fold these over. And then once I get that folded over, then I'm going to work on the corners. just putting Mod Podge on wherever I think the corners are going to lay onto the board. And then too, I think I'm going to add a little hot glue to it. I actually think that's what I did the last time instead of Mod Podge on the corner pieces. Okay, so let's do this end here. Hi, Lisa. And then this piece right here, and this right here. Work on this a little bit because it is showing up. I shouldn't have put the Mod Podge on the corners. Should have just went with the hot glue. And I actually think I did the back of it with the hot glue all around last time instead of Mod Podge at all. But that's okay, we can work with this. And again, this is just a piece of the fabric from the discontinued upholstery books. I didn't even cut this one. Okay, yeah, that worked a lot better. And then we just have this one other side to do. I'm just putting hot glue anywhere that I think it needs to be so that it will lay flat on the back of this piece. Okay, so this is the back of it, and this is the front. Now we're going to lay this aside to dry, and then we're going to work on this piece. So this is the back to the upholstery books, and I cut part of this off because I wanted more of a square. And I'm going to use this material here that I got at Goodwill. So I'm just going to cut a piece a little bit larger than the piece of book backing. So probably about this much. And then I'm just going to cut a slit, and then I'm going to tear it. See how easy that tears? And then I'm just going to cut it this way. Oops, that didn't tear the right way. Let's try that one again. There we go. This will be the front of it, and I'm just going to put my Mod Podge on there. A generous layer. Material is, you know, of course, a little bit thicker than the paper, and it does, the Mod Podge does kind of soak into it. So I'll probably do half of the board and then put the material on and then continue with the other half of the board. I'm just rubbing it down where I put the Mod Podge on. And this is like some canvas material. And this is what it's looking like on the board. So I'm just going to flip the material over here, and then I'm going to continue with my Mod Podge. And of course I need some more. And then when I do the back of this one, I'm just going to use the hot glue. I'm not going to mess with the Mod Podge. I think the hot glue works better. So remember that when you're doing yours. And if you do one of these, please post a picture on Liz's craft page. I would love to see your creation, because I know it will be different from mine. Okay, now I'm just going to flip this over. I'm going to put my Mod Podge back in here. And put the lid on. Set this aside. And then work with my glue gun. I'm just taking the extra little strings off. Put a strip of glue on the outer edge of our backing here, and then another strip below it. Yes, this works much better than the Mod Podge. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Stick of glue. I hope you guys like this project. I really like it too. Hey, Joanna. So I'm just hot gluing my material to the back of the board. And then I'm going to hot glue the corners down. Okay, so we have one corner. Got the other corner, and let me get some of this glue off my fingers. Okay, so here we have the two corners and the three ends done. Yeah, we could probably cut a little bit of this off. So again, I'm just going to rip it. Hopefully it'll work. And this is just some material that I got at Goodwill. And it's a canvas material. Okay, I'm not sure what is that. Oh, my scissors. My scissors left me. other end, and we'll be finished with this portion of the board. Like I said, this is one of my favorite projects. I like using the lights, and I got the lights from Amazon. There were 4 in a pack for $14, and they're remote control. Okay, so here's our board, and then we have our other board. Now I'm going to take the heat gun to this to speed up the drying a little bit before I put my stencil on. I'm going to use the higher setting. Hi Shannon, how are you? That's good enough so that we can do our stencil. And the stencil I chose today is one from a different company, and if you would like the link to that, just put it in the remarks, and I know someone who sells these, and I'll send you her link. But this says, all things work together for good to those who love God. Romans 8:28. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. So these stencils do not need to be fuzzed. They're not that sticky. They are reusable, and they do pretty much stay in place when you're doing your paste on them. So I'm going to use chalk paste. Let me just move this over a tiny bit. So it looks like I have everything on there. And I'm going to use Sugar Plum from the Magnolia Design Company. And I did put a link in the description for this. And if you do order, please order from my link, and that way I get a little percentage. So I'm just going to take the bigger part of my cut apart squeegee, and I'm going to get some some paste on it. It's a little dry. I need to add some water to it, but I'll do that after I do my stenciling. Hopefully it won't affect what I'm doing here. When you're done with your stencil, you need to clean it. I put mine in a little bucket of water over there until I can get to the sink. But you just take it to your kitchen sink to the sprayer, and they have a stencil sponge cleaner that you can use on it. It's just a spongy looking thing, and you just rub it across there, and it'll help get the paste out of the screen part of your stencil. And then once you clean it, you dry it with the sticky side up, and then once it's dry, you put it back on your backing. Now, I hope this was not too dry for this to work. If it was, lesson learned, you need to have the correct consistency when you do your stencils. Okay, so I have a little extra here. I'm just going to put it back in my container, and let's just take a look at this. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I like it. It turned out good. What do you think? So I'm going to put this face down in my water. And I'm going to put my squeegee in there too. Put my brush in there. And then since my paste was a little dry, I'm going to put several squirts of water in this. And then I'll put the lid back on. And the next time I use it, it should be creamy. Okay, now I'm going to dry this so I don't mess it up. I just thought this pink would pop on this light green, and then I think it goes with the darker blue. But you can use whatever colors you like, whatever goes with your home. I'm just giving you some ideas on what you can do for home decorating tips. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's good. Okay, so we're going to set this aside for now. I'm going to go ahead and turn my lights off. And what I'm going to do is get my blocks here. Now, these are these tumbling tower game blocks. And you can get these at the Dollar Tree for $1 in the game section where the kids' games are. And I want my board to stick up so that I can put my battery pack in it so you don't see it. So what I'm going to have to do is glue 3 of these together, and I'll probably need at least 4, maybe more of these. So I'm just putting a strip of glue, and then I'm squeezing these together, just like that. And actually, yeah, I need 3 of them gives me the height I need for the battery pack. And I know I'll need at least 4, but I may need 5 or 6. Just depends. So if you haven't gotten any of these blocks and you've tried some of my crafts, you know that I use these frequently. Hey Georgie, how are you? We're making a lighted sign for our wall. And if you're interested in making this, you might want to go back to the beginning to see what all we're doing. Okay, so we have our 3 stackable blocks. And again, these are the tumbling blocks that I got from the Dollar Tree in the kids section. So let me move this out of the way. So this is our backboard. I Mod Podge material to it and hot glued the back. And we're going to turn this like this. I'm going to have this like this. And we're going to put our blocks on there. So I want a block here on the back. And I'm going to put a block around each corner, just like that one. So I'm just hot gluing it to the back. Okay, as soon as we get these on there, then we're going to put glue on the bottoms of these blocks, and then we're going to glue them to our board. And this is just a piece of wood that I got from a cigar box. Okay. Now I'm going to need some more glue before I start on this. I don't want to run out. Because you got to be pretty quick with this glue. This one wants to come up because it was, I put Mod Podge on it. Okay, I'm going to have to stand up for this. Alright, I think this looks pretty good. So I'm just going to press it down. And if you can't see because of the comments or anything like that, you can just swipe them. If there are any comments. Okay, so this is what we have so far. What do you think? If you like it, give me some hearts. Hi, Diane. Okay, so now we're going to put our lights on. So this is our battery pack. It does not come with batteries. You have to buy the 3 AAA batteries. And we're just going to, okay, I lost the bead. I really need that bead too, so I don't know where it is. Well, I guess I'll find it here in a minute. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is put the battery pack in there. And I'm going to make it stick to make it sit on the piece of wood. And then, of course, this had to come apart. So let me try to glue it back on there again. Did the others come up? Of course, I have this problem with the other one, so I don't know what's going on. You know, sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. I know why this one isn't working is because I got Mod Podge on there and the thing is wet. But, okay, we'll try it. Alright, let's get this back in here. So I'm just going to sit it on the ledge there. And then I'm just going to wrap our lights around. And these little lights come with either copper wire, silver wire, or gold wire. I am partial to the copper, so that's what I got. And let's turn them on. Ooh, that looks nice. But you can get any of the 3 colors that you want, and they come 4 in a box from Amazon for $13.99. And this is my last pack, so I'll have to be ordering me some more. I've used them in 3 different projects, but 4 different items. Okay, so this got a little tangled. There we go. Just going to continue to wrap this until I get to the end. And And since this has a remote control, you don't have to worry about the battery pack, you know, turning the lights on and off until the batteries run down and you need to change them out, which you can do that. Okay, so this is my last little light, and I'm just going to tuck it in under one of these other strands. There we go. Well, maybe I'll just poke it in there. It doesn't want to go. What is up? Okay. Come on now. Get in there. There we go. Okay. Looks like my board got a little wonky when it came loose. So I'm going to have to take my wood pieces loose and fix them. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead with this, and I'm going to make the hanger. So I have a piece of 20 gauge copper wire, and I'm just going to make a swirly on the end of it, just like that. I don't know if you can see it or not. And then I'm just going to keep turning it until I get a bigger swirly, because then I take this and I glue it to the back of the board, just so that I have something a little more substantial to glue on than just that thin piece of wire. So this is what I have, and I'm going to start putting my beads on, but I need to find that other bead. I don't even know which bead it was. Okay, oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, so I can remember how I was going to do this. I think I was doing a small green bead, a medium green bead, and I'm just stringing it on this piece of wire, and a large green bead, and then a medium green bead, a small green bead, and then another small green bead, and then I'm going to use the blue medium, the big green one, the blue medium, the small green, and then just keep on like that. I'm going to do the green ones next, and then I'll do the blue ones after that. And hopefully I have the right amount of beads. Okay, so this is what I have for my handle, and I'm just going to cut that like that, and then I'm going to do my swirly. Or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I have it like this, and then I'm going to hot glue it on the back of the main board. And then I'm going to get a piece of denim, and I'm just going to slip this over it just to give it a little more stability. I think this is a good place right here. So I actually just put hot glue on top of my swirly wire. And then I lay this piece of blue jean material on top of it. I think it just holds it in place a little bit better. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And hopefully, yeah, it looks pretty good. And I will fix this, the smaller board while we're still online, just so you can see what I do to fix it. Hopefully I won't have any issues, but who knows. Okay, so there we have our hanger. And then I'm going to try to fix this. So I have to take these up from, I'm going to take the whole thing off. See if I can get up in there. I want to cut my material, but it's actually pulling my material away from my board. Maybe if you use something like this. You know, the glue sticks when you want it to. I mean, when you don't want it to, but it doesn't stick when you want it to. Come on now. Do y'all have any ideas on how to get this up? Oh, you know what? I could use my hot glue gun. I mean, my heat gun. That should loosen up the glue enough that I could pull it up. Let's see. Alright. Maybe I need to do it a little bit more. I'm determined to get this fixed because I cannot leave it the way it is. Okay, I think I'm getting it, so let me try some more heat. You guys have any suggestions on how to get this up? Okay, I think it's coming. Oh, yes. Okay, we got one piece up. 3 more to go. Whew. Okay. Well, I hope I don't ruin this. Okay, that one was pretty easy. Oh, there we go. Okay, well that took some of the wood with it, but let's put some more glue on this so it'll stay. Like I said, when you want it to stay, it won't, and when you don't want it to stay, it stays. can usually fix your mistakes though in crafting. That's the good thing. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys this. You see that? That glue held so good that the piece of wood is still there. Alright, we're going to get this. So, let me see. I want it like that. Just like that. So, let's see if we can do this. I want to make sure that my wires are on the outside of these blocks. Okay. All right. I think this is it. Now, you see how this is showing? I need to get that off. So I'm going to put my heat gun on it. Got that off of there. Now I want to see if I can get some of the glue off. Should have left it on. Okay. Alrighty. I think we're done, and I even showed you how to take care of an error. So I would take a picture of this and I'll put it out there on Liz's craft page, and if you make any of the crafts, your crafts from my videos, please post them on Liz's craft page. I will be back tomorrow at 11:30 Central Time. So until then, keep crafting. Bye.